This is probably the cheapest fully electric SUV you can get in the market currently, and it's the new BYD Atto 2. And I've been looking forward to review this car for such a long time because I've always wanted to experience what is it like, driving a car that it costs just 100,000 before discount, which I'll explain later. So for today's video, I'm going to share my 1 week ownership with this car. What are the things I love and what are the things I dislike? Now, what's interesting about this car is that this car sits between the BYD Dolphin and the BYD Atto 3. But it's cheaper than the Dolphin and it sits taller than the Atto 3. Okay? And this car also, when they first announced the price, it was 100,000 ringgit, and that's because that's the lowest they can go for a CBU fully electric vehicle. But they are very smart. You know what they did? They give early bird promotions to the first 800 buyers for this car. They give you 6 months free installment, which dropped the price down to around 86,000 ringgit, which makes this car officially the cheapest proper fully electric SUV yet. The reason why I say that is because they've already announced that the Proton E-Mas 5 will price around estimate 60 to 80,000. But as of now, this is currently the cheapest one yet, and I'm super excited to review this car. What do you actually get out of this car? So yep, without further ado, let's go. Alright, let me just give you a quick walk around tour of this car itself. Now, videos and pictures literally doesn't do this car justice at all, because in person it actually looks larger. In fact, it's actually comparable with the Proton X50 and also the Honda HR-V, and I find it refreshing in terms of its design because all of the BYD models, if you notice, they're all pretty streamlined, it's sharp, whereas this one, they took a total opposite approach. It's rugged, it's boxy, it's also a lot of flat surfaces, which gives you this pretty unique characteristics in terms of its looks. So if you come towards the front, you'll notice you have this smoked out headlights with the daytime running lights there. You have a very clean lower front bumper with openings on the side to feed air for aerodynamics. You have openings below here as well to cool the batteries. As you head towards the side, you get these 17-inch wheels, and if you look from the side profile, right, it feels like this car is more like a crossover instead of an SUV. And why is because they've actually have this black color part here, which gives you an optical illusion that it rides higher than usual, but it's not. Yeah, it's a pretty cool design strategy. And you have all this part here, which gives it a little bit more of a, different and unique look. And I also like how, if you notice the roof here, it's like it's floating. And how they have done that is because they've actually blacked out the A pillar, the B pillar and the C pillar, which gives you this floating effect, and at the same time it gives you a more sporty look. And if you come towards the back, this angle here, this reminds you of, let's say, the Proton E-Mas 7, the Smart. Nowadays, a lot of cars have this feature at the back right here. Even the E-Mas 5 also got this similar structure. And this part here is all finished in glass also, right guys? Okay, now come towards the back. This is literally my favorite part of the car. The reason for that is because before I've seen the BYD Atto 2 in person myself, I was driving at night and suddenly I bumped into a car with these lights. I was like, wow, what car is that? Then it's immediately recognizable, it's the BYD Atto 2, because no other car has this sort of design. So this is actually inspired by the Ambius ring, which has this continuous loop that doesn't end, which is said to bring good luck to the wearer. But in this case, good luck to the passengers and also the driver inside this car. Yeah, it looks really nice, especially at night. Then after that, it runs all the way towards the other side as well. At the back end, it's pretty simple. It's very flat, okay? Then also here you have, I like how they brought the body color and then tied around the bottom part here as well. And then if you pop open the boot, sadly, this car has no power tailgate because it's an affordable SUV. Alright, so you have quite a pretty good amount of space at the back here, I would say. And if you open up here, right, you got no spare tire, but you can actually put a lot more things inside here at the back if you want to. So yep, I think that's all for the exterior. So now let's check out the interior. Okay, just before I show you the cockpit, let me just show you the back seats first. So if I open up the door, take a look at that. You notice the door actually open up all the way up to 70 degrees of angle, meaning people will sit inside, you're gonna come in and out. It's much easier because the floor also is not very high up, so especially for elderlies, it's better for them. Okay, and if you take a look inside, it's pretty spacious back here. You have a flat floor, obviously because it's an EV. You have AC vent there, you have 2 charging ports, and I like this design on the backboard of the seats itself. It's hollow, okay, and everything you touch, right, this actually feels very, very premium. It's so soft. You touch the leather, so these are synthetic leather, but it doesn't feel like a 100,000 ringgit car. See, it's so soft. I've actually taken this car for long distance journey, and people say it's actually comfortable sitting inside here because the seats are well reclined. You got this, you can put all the way up, so your head, you put on it, you know, it's nice and comfortable. Everything you touch and feel, it's all soft touch leather materials, and I like how you have this design right here with this grab handle, with the illuminated light that lights up at night, which looks pretty cool. You have the contrast yellow stitching here as well. Yeah, not bad in terms of the back. Now let's take a look at the cockpit itself. If I open up, you'll immediately notice, right, that the design is no longer like the organic shapes from the BYD seal and also the dolphin. It's much more of a minimalistic look now. You get a new steering wheel design right here with all the controls on the left and right. So this is all for your media, this is for your cruise control, alright? And let's just take a seat inside, okay, and close the door. Now once you're inside here, you get the familiar digital instrumental cluster here. So here it shows your kilowatt, your kilometer per hour. Here you got your TPMS. You can scroll through different things. So you press on this, it actually shows you your driving info. Okay, and then this one, if you press on this, it gives you the 360 camera, which is very clear. Obviously, Chinese cars, they are very good at giving you high definition or high resolution camera. See, it's so clear. Even BMW cannot beat this car. And what's the cool about this car, the BYD party trick, is if you press on this, it actually rotates. Okay, so it gives you a different view as well. You can see now it shows you 2 only. The bottom here, you have 2 AC vent. So here you can put your phone. This one supports 50 watt. That's a lot, guys, for a wireless charging tray. So let me just put my phone inside here. You can see, immediately detects. Wait for it, and yep, it detects. So yep, it charges already. So here you got all your shortcut keys. This one scroll through your different driving modes. If you press on this, you can see you have normal, you have sport, you have snow field, and you have eco. Alright, I normally keep it on normal itself. So here, what else you have? You got this. So this one is your regenerative braking. So if you see on the top here, right, this part here says high. If you press on this, it shows you standard. So the regenerative braking is not that intrusive, right? I like how everything is kept here, and you have this scroll wheel to scroll through your volume. I always appreciate car makers who actually have all this instead of stucking everything into the screen itself. So here you have 2 cup holders. This one you can open up if you want to put more stuff inside. If you open up, you get more space inside here as well. But yeah, the fit and finish, the design of this car for 100,000 ringgit car, it's nice. You see, these are all soft touch. The seats are so comfortable. This one is also ventilated, meaning it blows air through the seats. Yeah, feels very nice. See when I touch, right? Okay. And then bottom here also you have a lot of space to put your stuff, and you also have the USB-C port right there to charge your phone. But yeah, the interior of this car, it's pretty nice. So now without further ado, let's go out for a drive. Alright guys, you now join me driving the new BYD Atto 2, and the first impression being inside here, right, when I first sat inside, is that it's really spacious because it's so minimalistic. When you're inside, you actually feel comfortable. The seats are nice and soft. It's quiet because it's an EV. And after almost one week of driving this car, I want to share with you guys the things I like and dislike about this car. But just before that, let's talk about the power of this car and also the charging. So this car uses a 51.1 kilowatt hour battery, which produces around 177 horsepower and 290 Newton meters of torque. That's a lot for a 100,000 ringgit car. Alright, 0 to 100 takes 7.9 seconds, and it goes to top speed up to 160 kilometers only, which I'm surprised because normally it's 180, it stops at 181. So this one is 160, so it can very easily reach 160, no joke. Okay, and also in terms of the charging, so I've taken this car to Sunway to charge as well. This car supports 7 kilowatt AC charging, which is typical of BYD. Most of BYD models also is 7 kilowatt, except for the BYD C Line 7, if not mistaken. That one supports 11 kilowatt. charging. So if from 0 to 100 takes roughly around 7 to 8 hours. So if let's say you park at home, you can charge it next morning, it's already full juice. If DC, it's 82 kilowatt. So from the state of charge, 20 to 80% takes about half an hour, which is pretty standard. And the range for this car, it's around 350 kilometers WLTP. Now you can't expect the range to be super high because we have to remember that this car is an affordable SUV. That's why this car, it doesn't have a sunroof, which is not necessary. You don't have a powered tailgate as well, but you're coming inside a BYD, because we know BYD are well established. So normally you buy this kind of cars because we trust the brand itself. Okay, so now let's talk about the things that I love about this car. Number one would be its steering wheel. This car, right, somehow the steering wheel is so light. You can actually rotate the steering wheel with just one finger. When I parked that Sunway, I parked all the way up to the highest floor. When I was coming down, right, you know, every time you go down the floor, you have to turn your steering wheel, go down, right? This one, you can just use one finger. I mean, you shouldn't do that, but yeah, that shows how effortless is it to, you know, you don't have to put much effort to turn the steering wheel, which is good, especially when you're driving from point A to point B for working, you know. It's so nice, you just turn, but obviously at higher speed, then it won't be that good, because at high speed, you want the steering wheel to be heavier, but if you put the sport mode, it gets a little bit heavier. So yeah, but that's the good thing about this car. It's easy to maneuver, and also the turning radius of this car is really good for tight maneuvers, right, or tight U-turn. You can actually just do it on one go. Alright, so this car is perfect for city driving. Another thing will be its suspension. This car actually soaks up bump pretty well, which I got surprised, because a lot of EV cars, when you go through bump, right, there's this floaty feel and sometimes it don't. This one, no. I tried to go on pothole, right, it actually soaks up really well. So yeah, that's kind of good. And also the third thing I like about this car, which I think a lot of people often overlook, would be this car comes equipped with a start-stop button. So you have to manually press to start the car and manually press to off the car, which I feel it's important, because nowadays a lot of EV cars, right, when you enter the car, on the gear selector, which this car have on the like Mercedes style, it's mounted on the behind the steering wheel, the stock. You just put the drive, the car immediately wakes up and you can go already. And the one thing I don't like about that is because let's say you leave the car, but the car's on, you automatically switch off. Sometimes it can be kind of irritating, because let's say if my mom is in the car and then I just want to go down to get some groceries, right? So if I go down and then the car automatically shut off, then my mom inside will feel like very, you know, you suffocated, very hot inside. But this car, because of this physical manual button, it works just like an ordinary car. You turn it on, you leave the car, it will still be on unless you manually switch it off. Yeah, that's one thing I like a lot, which you only know when you start to live with the car. And power-wise also, it's more than enough. When you accelerate, you won't get that. You know, we're so used to the 0 to 100 in 3.5 to 4 seconds, but in reality, you know, this car is just to drive from point A to point B comfortably and safely, and this car gets you to that point very fast. Apart from that, you get all the safety features. You have 360-degree camera, you have tire pressure monitoring system. Yeah, so basically you have all the necessary things inside this car. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you get a 50-watt wireless charging tray as well. You have a lot of storage space inside here, a lot of charging port as well. Okay, now here comes the thing that I don't like. Number one would be, I noticed this A pillar, it actually is a huge blind spot. Alright, sometimes I'm driving, I didn't know that there's someone on the right side or there's a car on the right side. So when I drive, I'm like, oh, it's actually behind my A pillar, because of the way that this A pillar is shaped, right, the angle. Number two would be its pedal input. Same for a lot of EV cars, when you accelerate, right, it actually takes like a 1 second delay before it actually goes forward. Yeah, so this one you have to get used to it, but over time I will assume that, you know, if you drive long enough, then you get used to it. But when you're first time driving it, you know, you actually get to feel that delay, which isn't that nice. And another thing would be, this car doesn't have the passenger smart entry, meaning that, you know, you want to unlock the car, you have to unlock from the driver's side, or you have to use the key to unlock so that you can enter through the passenger side, which I feel, you know, nowadays cars, it should come standard that both sides you can unlock the car, because yeah, it actually helps a lot when you are daily driving this car. but this car doesn't have that, again because maybe they say the price is so cheap, that's how it is. But yeah, there's something you just have to get used to it. But overall, for the price you're paying for this car, for an electric car, you basically have everything you need inside this car. Yes, the power, it's quiet, you got the creature comforts, you got the safety, you also have the looks. Now the looks can be subjective to people, but I like how they went for this rugged approach as compared to the streamlined design, especially the rear tail lights. I just love the rear tail lights a lot. At night, it literally pops. From miles away, you can really tell that's a BYD Atto 2. So yeah, what do you guys think about the new BYD Atto 2? For me, if let's say you're planning to get the Proton X50 or the Honda HR-V, but you want an EV car, then this car will literally be right up your street, because we know BYD, they are pretty well established across the entire globe, and especially here in Malaysia, they're progressing pretty fast as well. Most of their models, they are under the top 10 best-selling EV cars in Malaysia. Alright, and this one will definitely climb up the ladder as well. But when the Proton E-5 comes out, yeah, so it's going to be pretty exciting to see which car actually, sell well. But yeah, this car, for what it offers, is spacious, it's quiet, you get the benefits of an EV car. But yeah, huge thanks to BYD Malaysia for giving me this car to drive for 1 week to share my experience, because I love cars. I love to drive cars for, let's say, a week or two, so that I know as a consumer or as an owner what I love and hate about this car. So I hope you find it informative, and with that said, I shall catch you guys next time. Ciao.